it's Coleraine, or Coleraine Tarot, here on YouTube. My pronouns are they, them, and I am an energy and tarot artist. Tonight, I am creating for you, for anyone who finds this video, an ASMR style energy work video. So, if you resonate with this concept of energy work, and you're specifically looking for this, then welcome. If you are just interested in ASMR or some kind of relaxing, personal affection or attention type of video, then this also you can use it in that purpose. If you are just somebody who wants to meditate, then you are also welcome to use this in any way that you feel called to. So tonight, the purpose of my session that I'm doing, if you're going to use this for energy work, this is going to be a video where we look at success. I'm going to be working with the solar plexus. If you don't resonate with chakra systems, then this is the energy center that is in the belly. This is where we process and break down nutrients, where we kind of have our subconscious energy, the ways that we can, those gut instincts, those places where we have that inner knowing or that feeling. If our gut is happy in terms of scientific things, I don't know why I did air quotes, but if our gut is happy, then our mind is happy, our serotonin is produced better, our dopamine reacts in a more fluid, organized, and helpful manner. I don't know exactly if I'm making sense in this, but I hope that you're understanding what I mean, and how, because I want to work with this energy, work with this lower, the lowest high mind, I do want to kind of focus on breaking down the subconscious patterns, getting to kind of ask ourselves and prompt these questions that limit our successes or limit our focus, because our focus is very much intertwined with our mental health, with our day-to-day actions, the things that we believe that we can or cannot do. These are the experiences that, because of this subconscious low mind, we can't fully break through and be able to actually do the things that we want to do, or be the person that we want to be, or engage in the kinds of conversations, the environments, the experiences that we want to engage in. And so, if you are open to the concept of energy work, all you need to do at this time is just be open to receiving. Set out an intention that whatever energy you are consciously working towards at this time will find its way to you because of the energy work that we are intentionally putting into this session. I don't know why I said we, but I mean, we're doing this as a collective. I am just a guide for the energy. I am not the one who is giving the energy. I am just guiding your own mind, your own capacity for healing yourself into this place of alignment so that you can begin to work on this within your own body, within your own mind. So, if you are not open to energy work, then don't worry. Just kind of continue to get into a relaxed state. Start to meditate if you would like, or just get into a place where you feel comfortable, safe, connected into your body, or connected into your mind if getting into your body does not feel safe right now. I just want you to start to feel safe and secure as we head into this session. So, I always start by setting an intention as we light a candle. I just have a sticker on here of some art that I made, but I don't really think that it goes with the session, so I'm not going to highlight it. But I have some matches here. These are rabbit matches. I'm going to scratch on the box just a little bit. It has I want to invite you to breathe and imagine that your breath is traveling all the way down into your thighs and all the way down into your calves and all the way down into your feet. And as you exhale these numerous times that you're breathing, imagine that you are sending out a mist down to the floor around where you are right now, and it's starting to pool just a little bit. And this pool of mist is hanging around your ankles, and it's catching anything that is deep in your subconscious, and it's inviting it to dissolve. So this mist starts to leave your energy field and dissolve, just like those subconscious things. Because we want to get those deep, deep things out of the way before we start to do a bit more conscious. And so what I'm going to do today, because I am focusing on the solar plexus, I want to work our way up, because I am feeling right now that the blockages that are keeping you from accessing the solar plexus are coming from these roots, from these routines, habits, the deep, deep subconscious. So if we're thinking of it in terms of a chakra system, the root chakra is at the base of the spine. That is where the Kundalini energy comes up from, or if you're not really into the spiritual terms, then that is where our energy starts to travel up. The base of our spine, that spinal fluid, kind of comes up when we do breathing exercises, if you want it from a scientific perspective. Our base of our spine is where we sit, where we rest, all the way down upon. The base of our spine is also a place that we send waste out, I guess, or we kind of process and draw out water or liquid and hydrate ourselves. So this area of our body is sometimes a place where we feel shame, like in terms of how we view the physical. And so I want to kind of work with releasing that shame from this area. And then as we move up through the sacral, which is right around the belly button area, this area again is a place where we break down nutrients, we pull out the nutritional pieces that are in the foods that we consume. This is also an area where our sexual energy tends to stem from, so these places of pleasure, desire, kind of similar to the solar plexus where we have this willpower, but it's more of an emotional, again, that stability, security kind of a thing. And then when we get to the solar plexus, which is right up under here, under the rib cage, that's an area where it's the highest part of the lower mind. So if our body is conscious, this is the highest energy center of the lower body, where we do feel things, and this is where we get gut instincts, these things that are more connected to the way that we typically associate our mind, and the functions of our mind and the ways that our mind supports our everyday experience. And so that stomach area is, again, where we break down and then release chemicals and things that help our mood. So I hopefully want this energy work to be layered in that way, so that we kind of work from these more subconscious routines and habits to the emotional desires, the emotional programs that might be in place to support or deny that, awakening these desires, and then into the actual production of these physical experiences and guidance, and that more conscious or subconscious processing of that. And I know that's a very long-winded intention, but I hope that you will bear with me as I light the candle. To support redefining success, finding our own definition of success. Thank you. Understanding the way that success has been given to us. Maybe let's see if I can get this to focus a little bit. Okay. And you see this strong flame right here? If you have an intention that I haven't mentioned that has to do with your success or a project that you're working on right now, you can set that intention right now and participate. Please only include intentions that have to do with yourself and your own personal experience, because energy work is better when you are doing it consciously and it's something that you are participating in with your own free will. So I'm going to keep this candle down right in front of me so I can kind of get this flicker of the light and we can appreciate that light while we're doing this work. But I don't have to keep it in view. So I want to use a sound bell to kind of use it in almost an EMDR style. And if you don't know what EMDR is, it stands for eye movement desensitization reprocessing. I am not trained in this, so please do not use this in lieu of an actual medical professional guiding you through these things. But I want to use the process of that in a way that might be helpful today using this ASMR. So what is done in EMDR is you go back and forth the way that your eyes would in REM sleep. And so your focus is going to go back and forth, back and forth. And as you do that, we're going to almost time travel in the mind. And as you do this, I want you to start going to places in your mind that remind you of your own work ethic or the ways that authority have been showing you the proper way to work, paradigms of working, as in like what your parents maybe did, if they worked constantly, if they worked multiple jobs, these kind of things. What was shown to you, excuse me, what was shown to you as a proper way to provide labor? And does labor, I guess, I want you to think of how non-labor activities also produce to you other forms of success, like thinking about something or having a breakthrough. These kind of things, they happen only when we do what? Rest, right? And so if you don't take the proper time to rest or have a balance between work and play, you can't fully get to the place where you actually are able to produce. And so I know I'm starting to ramble a little bit, but to kind of rein this back in, I just want you to start thinking about your ideas and attributes that you give to how you actually start to go about production in any form, whether it even be producing emotions, because that is just your energy in motion. How do all of these various factors contribute to each other and contribute to your larger expression of energy and movement? So exercise also clears the air, clears the frequencies, the sound waves that are around us, and also should have started to kind of draw some things that may have been lying dormant in the root chakra upwards into a more conscious state of being. For me personally, I had some memories associated with my friends' families, and the ways that their families treated work and assimilation, and kind of functioning within certain norms, and also competitiveness, the ideas of competition in labor or comparison in labor, and not even just labor, but comparison of being, comparison of selfhood, these different kind of constructs that are very much almost like Venn diagrams, like we're overlapping our own accomplishments with other people, our traits, our actions, our qualities, our emotions, even the expression of those emotions with others. And so I hope that that was helpful for you to start to kind of bring up thoughts that desire to be transmuted, desire to be examined or looked at, or maybe just felt. Sometimes we don't even need to examine the emotions that arise or the memories attached to emotions. We just need to have a conscious experience of them to remember that on some level these experiences or these constructs or these paradigms have a relevancy in our life, and they have some kind of power, and that doesn't have to be a bad thing. It's just the recognition of what we do give our power to and what power assists our own personal empowerment. Now, I have some smoke cleanse, and I'm just moving, I have an incense tray. So I'm going to stick this in and light it on our candle. This is some Palo Santo. As I have mentioned before, I am very, not to say that I'm perfect or that I don't have my own days where I am not as, conscious or careful, maybe, cautious about other people's practices and specifically cultural practices, but I know that Palo Santo is a sacred wood that is used in cultures that are not mine and not my ethnic background, but as I have told you before, when I've used sage, when I'm gifted something, I will use it with honor, and I will use it in a way that I'm called to use it. So when I have used this, I have felt that it opens up and allows for me to kind of channel certain energies through the use of the smoke as an element of air. And so what I want to do right now is to start to channel through a general cleanse or a general almost purification. I don't know how much I really vibe with that word though, just because it implies that maybe you're impure, and I don't think that you're impure at all. I think that we are all pure in our own sense, but sometimes we get gummed up by things. And so if I'm going to start working with your immediate aura, I want to cleanse things that are not of you, okay? And not of your highest good. So I'm going to start bringing this smoke through your aura, just with the intention that these things that are not of you start to fall away. And I apologize for some background noise. I have neighbors. And specifically up through these higher chakras, because I'm not doing as much work with them. I just want anything that is going to limit or inhibit our work that we're doing today to feel free to loosen up and be recycled or fall away. Especially I'm feeling down the lower back. I'm starting to work in the lower chakras now. The areas that we're mostly focusing on today. And just as the energy work, the pattern of this energy work is going to take place, I want to start cleansing the root. And I want to start calling in an energy of something golden. I'm getting kind of floral, but I'm also feeling like that's not quite what we're going for. Maybe a metal, like brass, like an instrument maybe. Yeah, just something that changes the frequency of the air. It's almost like the singing bowl that we were using. But I want to draw something in, this energy of being able to use the frequencies that are around us for our, at our will, or with the willpower of ourselves in mind. I want to use this also to, if there's any habits, beliefs, or routines, like I'm thinking maybe there's addictive behavior that maybe needs to be analyzed or just addressed, or maybe we need some help, guidance with these kind of subconscious beliefs. These also may have to do with some traumas or just experiences of the world that are out of our control, but they do affect our everyday and the habits and beliefs that we take up and incorporate into our everyday. I'm feeling like this area, we're gonna be cleansing out some of these ideas of like, oh, I need to, like work out every single day in order to be healthy, or there's something about eating and like eating habits that also wants to rise to the surface. So for someone maybe thinking about the ways that you nourish your body, and this doesn't have to be in a self-depreciating way at all, but just more of like giving yourself some more love, like, hey, like my body does so much for me, just in terms of the functions of the consciousness of my body. Like my body knows how to heal wounds when I get scrapes. My body knows how to, even down in this root area, separate out what is good for me and what isn't going to nourish me, and knows how to release that. Like, how fantastic, how smart, how intelligent is that? So kind of having an appreciation for your body and listening to what feels good, maybe not what's been told to you as what is a universal feel good, You know what I mean? Blowing some of this on you. And I want to remind you to breathe down into the root again as we're working through this root chakra stuff. I'm going to get behind your lower back in a very non-invasive way, barely around your back. I'm going to switch hands just to kind of get these things again. I feel like our back holds projections or things that are not really of us sometimes. So I'm just working with that. Okay, I'm going to keep lighting this intermittently. I'm going to work with, I feel calming the sacral. I feel like your sacral may be a little bit overactive at this point. And not to make it not work as well, but to remind you what the sacral does. This energy centers around the belly button. This is a place where our sexual energy comes from, where our desires, our emotional programs kind of reside in the body. Again, if we're thinking of physically what energy is here, this is our some of our intestinal systems, our reproductive organs, kidneys, these kind of things. So again, they do process and weed out any issues, things like that. I am feeling like, again, some of these addictive behaviors or quick fixes, maybe looking at that. And how certain emotions maybe run your day-to-day. So let's say you really have like a sugar addiction or a caffeine addiction. You'll start to feel the craving when your body starts to get tired, or when you have just an instance of feeling that sensation of what happens when you consume this thing come over you. So I kind of want to just open this and maybe replace this desire, or invite an opening for maybe not replacing, but transmuting these desires into desires that align more with what you're trying to create. Because what is success? Success is reaching a state of balance, of moving the baseline of our energy, moving our beliefs, the things that we give power to in our lives, to a place that support what we are trying to have success in. So, okay, I'm going to start moving up to the solar plexus as I talk about success a little bit more, because the solar plexus, the place right here, energetically, besides being around the stomach, is a place where we start to break things down, like pull the initial nutrients, start to dissolve things, change them into different things. But in terms of success, you can be successful. This is actually something that if you have never checked out some of the videos, Bahati Life, I'll link maybe even the video that I found where Jessica's talking about this, but Jessica's talking about how success is something that we get to define in our own way, or it's something that is potentially what we're doing right now anyway. We are always being successful at something. It's just a matter of what we are being successful at. And so that's part of what I really want to be focusing on. That's why I'm kind of, right now as I'm cleansing the solar plexus area, I'm cleansing out any guidance that is linked to fear or anxiety, or just these things that we think might be the intuition or the body trying to communicate as the oracle that it is, in a way that's not aligned with the successes that we're currently trying to manifest consciously. Because if we let our subconscious mind rule too heavily, we can get stuck in fear, in stagnancy, in these places of being complacent. And so, like for example, with the success thing, you can be successful in being mean to yourself, or being depressed, or laying on the couch every day. Like, those are successes that you can have. And not to say that any of those are bad, because if you really need to lay on the couch for like 15 days straight, that might be really good for you. Like, it might be something that you're really trying to manifest. But if it's that you're excuse me, the smoke is getting to me. If it's that you're really wanting to go for hikes, or be more active, or get more knowledge, like have a better spiritual practice, it's going to be harder for you to do that when your actions and your routines don't have necessarily aligned with that belief system or that definition of success. And a lot of times our definitions of success kind of only look one way when it comes to what's socially defined as success. We're taught that like being a billionaire is the only way that you can be successful, or having a lot of money. For some people, they don't want to have like all this money, or they don't want to have 15 friends to be successful in terms of popularity. Like, it's really setting your own goals of what success means for you. Okay, so now that I've rambled a little bit about that, I want to start to invite in these new definitions. And so I'm going to see if I can do this well. But I wanted to try and do like a candle ritual. So what I'm doing is taking these little like Hanukkah candles that I got because they were cheap and they work really well for spells or like sealing jars and things like that. But just these little white candles. White is for like a blank slate, thinking like a fresh snow, kind of like those rabbit matches that we used, almost like that energizing. And I'm actually doing this on top of something that we're not using today in the ritual, but I think it will go well with our intention. Let me scratch on it a little bit for you. Make some nice noises. I'm tapping, sorry, and scratching wasn't working. But this is ginger root. See if it makes some noise. My microphone is down here, so it's ginger root in a little jar. Ginger root is for abundance, again, success, whatever that means for you. And so I want to make this interactive. And I'm going to try and relight an old match here. Oh, but before I do, I want to light these candles. I have 3. So these can either be for 3 different redefinitions of success. So let's say you want to redefine what emotional success means to you in your own mind. And you don't have to actually know what these definitions are right now. I'm seeing the number 3 a lot. Maybe that will be confirmation. You'll start seeing 333 places, or just collections of 3, like 3 butterflies or something, as a confirmation of things that you need to pay attention to that correspond with that. Or maybe if you want to redefine what like material success means for you, what's another type of success? What spiritual success means for you? I saw something the other day that someone was talking about how our own traumas, our own ancestry, even our own goals or our own environments really do change what spiritual success looks like for each one of us. And so your success is not going to look like what Susie's success looks like on Instagram in terms of how healed, like it's a competition of how healed everybody is or whatever. And I agreed with the creator. It's just kind of like BS. Like, my success might be that I'm getting out of bed every day, like it's baby steps. And so everybody also is going to have different spiritual beliefs and different kind of things. So in terms of spirituality, I do think there's a lot of success that is shifting into new paradigms. And so maybe you don't have a definition of what success looks like to you yet because it hasn't been created, and you're bringing in different cosmic energies that are going to change the way the earth works. So I really want to leave this open. And I know I've been long-winded at the beginning of every one of these intentional things that I've done today, but I hope that it's helping you to set your own intentions. So, and even if you don't want to do that, maybe this can just be mind, body, and spirit all aligning, thank you, like the law of 3, to remind you that whatever you send out, whether it be intention or wishes, will come back to you in the law of 3. And so that means if I send out love and harmony and bliss to my family and friends, or even a stranger at the supermarket, that comes back to me. And it's not you don't send with the intention that you know that it'll come back to you, but you do it because you want this abundance to be spread around. And so, looking into these 3 little flames, just remind yourself of the intention of what it feels like when you find these successes, because that's the most important part to manifesting. Well, there are 2 important parts to manifesting. First of all, it's the feeling, imagining the feeling as you're manifesting. Second of all, it is knowing that it's already done, having a knowledge that there is no room for discrepancy. There is no room for things to not go the way that you have intended. Unless, a tower moment happens, there's a divine intervention. But you will always be doing things that are in alignment with you ultimately, or with your journey ultimately, in the way that you are most going to benefit, that the collective is most going to benefit from this experience. And so I like to work a lot with like gray magic, or things that aren't necessarily just good or just bad. I want it to just be for evolution, for the expansion of spirit on earth. And so some of that success, I guess, is going to be things that aren't just going to be one, euphoric experience. There's growing pains when we're achieving success or adjusting, but it's all going to eventually work in the way that we want it to. And so I hope that helps you a little bit.
I want to do some crystal healing, and I did have a couple out here, but I think I'm going to just use them as
Honorary mentions. But as I do that,
let me spray.
okay. I believe that this spray has peridot and citrine in it. I made this. It was a different pillow spray, but I ended up really not enjoying the scent of it, so I made it myself. And so it's kind of a grapefruity spray, and I do think that grapefruit really connects with that solar plexus, that sacral kind of energy of that lower mind, where we can kind of cleanse out these emotions, look at the emotions differently. I'm feeling a lot of heat from these 3 candles, so I am feeling like this is going to get that warmth. Warmth, I think of like lubrication, movement, the ability in the body to start to have the molecules shake out. So I want to bring in the element of water for psychic development, if that's something that you want. Maybe you're looking for more spiritual success, awareness, these kind of things. Or if you're looking for emotional awareness, I do think we really manifest from the emotions. So I just want to kind of send this energy through. Citrine really does work with the solar plexus to bring some of these subconscious desires to the surface, to the heart space maybe, so that they can be more consciously viewed, maybe even up to the third eye, so that we can start to incorporate them into our manifestations, our imaginations of the world. Okay. So spraying all over you, letting this mist you. Again with this misty energy. I love that noise it makes when it hits the flame. Thinking of the Temperance card, where it has this energy of bringing the water and the fire together, so this spiritual impulse in with this emotional impulse, this more subconscious energy of the water, and then this fiery, direct, conscious, active energy of a fire. So one more spray over. I'm imagining that in your energy field, this is like a light green, kind of that peridot color. So just a very light, citrusy, maybe get behind you a little bit more. Glittery maybe, or no, glittery's not the right word, maybe iridescent energy, like opalescent, so it kind of gets that rainbow tint to it. Okay, and I'm going to spray it on myself, spray my hands before I start doing some crystal work. And I want to remind you to breathe, get down down in your body again. Do some belly breathing for me. Maybe put your hands on your belly and feel as you breathe in, your belly go out, and then as you breathe out, back in. Breathe in, expand, and breathe out, retract, and keep doing that. So our honorary mentions of stones that I have here supporting our work today. I don't know if you can see this green shirt. It's a smooth, ancient, beautiful green stone. And this is an iron derivative. And what it is chert comes from ancient living organisms that break down and then become that stone. So it is a reminder that our life energy never leaves, it just changes, and so it's supporting that growth, that transformation. It's almost like ammonite to me, but in a much more smooth, also there's like a love-based energy to that, so manifesting from a place of love, pushing away those fears and anxieties. And then this picture jasper, this is a perfect place to segregate into it. I don't know if you can see, yeah, you can see the color a little bit better back here. But it's like this white and honey color. I used to call this a honey stone in one of my older videos before I knew what it was. But this is a more dense stone. But picture jasper connects us to, kind of like chert, the wisdom, the consciousness of Mother Gaia, the earth, the ways that we can honor the earth, be an extension of nature, kind of work with the cycles of evolution in nature, connect with our ancestors or those who have walked before us, even if they're not our physical ancestors, our spiritual ancestors, to help us continue that line of success, maybe things that have been enacted in terms of the evolution of the collective consciousness into our modern day. So these are going to be sitting here and just assisting with us. As I use this selenite wand, I want to first just kind of tap over your crown, start sending in waves, almost like I'm thinking earthquake type waves. So it's a little shaky, just to kind of send down. We'll tap down fast. I'm seeing 4. Just to start to break up, again, those belief systems, those emotions that are maybe attached to each other, attached to these traumatic experiences. Again, I want to maybe bring in some of this back and forth, like EMDR for a minute, to help you to go and reprogram or access these places where you can feel into these old experiences of success or ways that success has been handed to you again. But I want you to, this time, unlike before when I did it with the sound bell, I want you to go in and start to remind yourself how you would maybe view this differently if your present consciousness could give your past self some kind of like extend some kind of energy, a word of love, like, you know, when you're in these spaces where you're in scarcity or in lack, or where things are just showing you where, you know, there's misalignment, maybe go back to a past version of yourself right now in your mind and just tell them, hey, like, you're okay, you're loved, you're supported, you can create from a place of love, you can bring to yourself experiences that make you feel good, you deserve that, these kind of things. So I'm going to start going back and forth on both sides of your head. if you're not done with your past self, it's alright. You can still stay there with them. But I'm going to start scanning this through your aura, almost like as a final scan before I pull. I want to pull a couple tarot cards to give you kind of a message from the universe, just at this time to assist you with whatever you're going through right now. And I want to maybe scan through your lower energy system a little bit, to send in some waves of like starry night to galactic comfort, some healing energy. I'm thinking of like an anti-inflammatory, we'll send in maybe like some willow almost in there. I want this green energy to continue to go through, and some sunlight, some rays of sunlight and warmth to go through as well, to go in with this like comfortable, cozy mix of dark and light and nature and organic. But I'm going to scan and then send in this energy. So I'll do a little bit of scan. I want you to breathe down into the root, into the belly, to the solar plexus and the sacral. I'm feeling like there's some tension in the hips. Maybe do some stretches on the hips. Go for walks a little bit more or something. Roll out some muscles if you've been working out. And if that's not resonating for you, again, like I said at the beginning of this video, you are the one who does the healing. So do your own little scan right now as you're hearing this. Just imagine like a laser scanning through this lower half of your body. And maybe visualize if you can, or if you are more clairsentient, not as much clairvoyant, maybe you can feel where these areas that need your attention are, or if there's like a visual or if you're claircognizant, maybe you're just having a knowing right now about an activity you can do that'll align, help you out. Willow, sunshine, starry, green, cold, warm, abundant, prosperous energy all around your entire energetic system. Feel yourself encapsulated by this warmth, this power, this strength in knowing that you can choose, that you're not stuck, that the world, that the collective consciousness changes with you, and that you will be supported in going after any definition of success that you ask for. Okay. Now, the candles, I'm going to give you a little bit of an update. They've burned down pretty well. So I believe this was body and spirit, if you're going off of that. They've gone down. But the second and the third candle are pretty much gone down to all the way down. and that first candle is still pretty high, so it's taking a little bit longer. If you remember the order of your intentions, your first intention just might take a little bit longer to manifest than the other ones. And that's not that it was misaligned or anything. It's just how it kind of works sometimes. Things don't always happen all at the same time. I have a bloodstone tower right here that I just want to kind of send the energy of this bloodstone around your aura to close it off. It looks like a scab. To kind of harden and maybe flake off when you're done, when you have healed these different programs or rewired them or restructured them. And if you think this is morbid, blood is something that goes through our heart. It carries the consciousness, the bodily DNA and matter of our ancestors. It carries water. It moves with the moon. And blood is magical. So I just want to bring this energy to surround that kind of energy that I brought with the selenite. And then I want to send in some traditional Reiki symbols, even though I haven't been using the term Reiki all that much. I do just really like the associations with them. I'm feeling like they're going to work right now, just with this outer layer. Okay, and this bloodstone will stay here and support us. So, I got a new deck by Sam. I hope I'm saying their name right, but they're a wonderful tarot artist, and I just wanted to try out this deck with y'all because I got it in the mail the other day, and I haven't got to use it for a reading yet. This is the Blood Moon Tarot. Let's see if I can get you to see it. It's such a beautiful, like, production-wise. Maybe I'm nerding out over this because I'm also a tarot artist, but I was really pleased with this. But I'm going to show you. Here's the back. It has like snakes and pomegranates. Just good fun stuff. So I'm going to start shuffling. And invite in a message or guidance or an affirmation. Something to help us with redefining this definition of success. What does the collective, who is present, aware, and in need at this time, want to hear, or need to hear, or would assist in their journey? I'm seeing lots of 5s. Changes, recognizing that you are in the middle of something, or you're maybe at that kind of uncomfortable rest point in the middle of a cycle, or just at a place where things are turning over in your life, transition point. So, what does the collective need to hear right now? Whoa, the deck is being a little goofy right now. Let me see if another card will come out, or if that was the only card. Is that it? Okay, that was it. Okay, so the card that we got is the 4 of Songs. Let me see if I can maybe show you a little bit better, give you a little bit better lighting. There you go. The suit of songs in this deck is water, or cups. And songs are frequency. their emotions, so our energy in motion, put into the very physical form of words, of lyrics, of maybe even without that verbal cue, a melody. And so with this card, there are these, I believe they're herons. You see them? They're holding these little nautilus around this person who's veiled. And I'm getting the sense of protection, or protecting oneself unnecessarily, being guarded in a way that's maybe out of an anticipation of scarcity or fear. And usually the Four of Cups or the Four of Water is a card where we do receive opportunities, but we have to use our discernment, or sometimes we have to ask for clarity or give ourselves permission sometimes to actually go after them, or know when something's meant for us or receive it. And so I'm feeling like this card is, with the energy of success, is giving the idea of caution, but knowing that if you are, the candle just went out, but if you are rejected, or you experience a feeling that feels like rejection, or it feels like almost unfair, like, I wanted this so badly, why is it, not working? Know that there are ways to be patient, be cautious, and know that the opportunities that you seek come your way at the time that you are meant to experience them, at the time that you are going to align with the version of yourself that can handle it, in the place that you are going to be supported, that you're going to have the opportunities that you need. I feel like so many success stories, or people making their goals, their ultimate goals, when we hear from them, I'm thinking of a 7th grade teacher that I had who had a story of, I think it was LeBron James, I'm really not sure, it might be, but anyway, it was a basketball player who had tried out so many different times. It might have been Michael Jordan, actually. Tried out so many times for the team, and then he got rejected, and then he ended up, being a pro NBA player, and it was just because the time and the place and the opportunities all had to align for him. And so I feel like this is what this four of songs is reminding me of. All of these cranes holding the nautilus. Like I said, that ammonite energy came up for me earlier. We have to remember that there are other wisdoms that are supporting us, that are bringing us the opportunities, and also protecting us from things that may seem like a really good idea, but don't actually end up being all that great for us in the long run. And so cranes also, as a bird, they mate for life. They are symbols of wisdom and friendship, and I am feeling like this is very much like having the right people, the right place at the right time, that kind of a thing. And also having people around you that also have similar long-term goals, that are going to support you in finding these new definitions of success, but also what it takes to work with where we are at the time. So there's a lot of because of this 4, it's a very stability, very grounded. Right now, I feel like the most important part of this success is going to be meeting yourself where you're at, seeing what's already going on, how you can meet the situations that you're already in, and then move on from there. Okay, so I hope that helped. I want to get one more card, actually, just for an affirmation of this energy going forward, or some kind of, not a forecast, but just, I guess, an affirmation, maybe. I don't know, I can't think of a better word. Just something that is going to kind of give a message of goodwill to you as you move forward with this success energy, what this success energy is going to bring to you when you find success energy that aligns with your version of success. What is going to come to the collective when they embrace this new definition of success? We got one card. I couldn't have chosen a better card if I chose it. Okay, this is the world. And again, let me see if I can bring this candle up to kind of illuminate what's going on in this card. Do you see that there's a nautilus in the center? Do you see that? They're in the dark. They're swirling. This like pink magical energy. I'm thinking of like self-love. When you unlock some kind of love of yourself and a nurturing of yourself, a caring for yourself, some kind of grounded experience of just self-care, knowing what routines and what experiences and what paradigms work well for you in support of these goals. You're going to have the world, quite literally. This is a card of ultimate, like, fulfillment. This is very much an energy of having everything that you need, materially, spiritually, physically. Like, this is a kick-ass card to get for the ultimate fulfillment of this success energy once you figure out what is my definition of success. And for a lot of you, I'm also seeing you write these things down, so ask yourself, what is success to me, maybe? And then that's how you can kind of redefine that. So I am feeling this video has gone on for a little while, so I kind of want to start to wrap that up, but I hope that all helps to support the rest of this energy that we've done. I want to spray this energy over that kind of scab that we made. This water again, just to kind of cool and calm and cleanse, and also to sever our connection that we've made today. And I want to remind you again, just breathe down into the body. As I start spraying, I want to thank you. I want to thank your guides. I want to thank all the forces in the universe that have brought us together. I want to thank the tools that I have used today. And I want to thank you for participating, for supporting, for appreciating, for just being present and being witness for me to be able to just do something I love with you. And I hope that you have so much abundance, so much love, and so much gratitude find you today. I will see you in another video, my friend.